My newest prayer is for God to change our lives using my gift. And that prayer is a prayer for responsibility. It's a prayer for pressure, for trust, um, to be in a position where I have no choice but to give all of myself to this development, to give all of myself to becoming the best that I can possibly be, having no time for, slacking off or indulging in things, vices, having no time or energy for those things because what I've been blessed with, what I've been called towards is so massive and it means so much to me. Um, that any time I have strayed from the path, uh, it really has not been for very long. And it really has not been a pleasant experience just being away from the craft at all, until I realized that what I need in my life is more of that feeling, and for that feeling to be so ever present in my mind, in my heart, in my soul, in my thought, that it will be ever present in my speech. And when those two things are in line, I will find it ever present in my action, which is where I'm at right now. I do tend to be a product of my environment, or I've tended to be so, throughout my life, slowly but surely, to um, assimilate to whatever cultures I'm around, and that's cool, and that's part of what makes me human, what makes me relatable, and what makes me um, accepted by the people, because I didn't put myself in positions of leadership. That's not possible. You know, those who humble themselves will be exalted. Those who exalt themselves will be humbled. That's just how that works. And so, if you want to be chosen among your peers, and I can say this from a place of experience, I've captained rugby teams. I've been class rep of two groups elected by the people. I can say that with authority, with chest. If you want to be a leader among leaders, among capable, competent people, then you have to be the most valuable person in the system. You can't bully your way into that position twice over in the same year. That doesn't make sense. What I did is not something that I pulled or sucked out of my thumb. What I did was something that I had learned from the people who did it before me, from the great entrepreneurs that I look up to. Alex Hormozy in his words said, if you are to be a leader amongst peers, if you come into a group where there's level pegging and you want to be a leader among these people, then what you do is you become the most valuable person to other people. And so that's two pronged. Out of all of this first semester, I come out top two, right? Hate it because I want to be number one. But top two, and I'm class rep, and I carried a lot of people through it. I provided a lot of value to a lot of people, and so people were happy to see me up there, and they understood the context with which I'm standing up there. It's like, oh, okay, this is not only a guy that is doing it for himself, but he's lifted as many people as he could as well. And that's the legacy. That's what I want to be remembered for. Is not only was this guy really cool and did he achieve what he achieved, but he also brought a lot of people up with him, and that's what makes him special. That's what makes him different. And so the prayer is for alignment with those goals, with those dreams, and keeping those things in the forefront of my mind. The prayer is for the weight to be on, the pressure to be on, because I function best when I'm under pressure, because pressure is for tires. What pressure, but that level of responsibility, it just really it brings the best out of me. It brings the best out of me. I love the version of myself that I am when I have to show up for other people, because I do. I don't let people down, and that's one thing. And as much as I've let myself down, many times, and not showing up where I was supposed to be, or it's too early to this, too late for that, because of, certain circumstances that had me not paying attention to what I was supposed to be paying attention to, and I let myself down. I've never let other people down, or I never let other people down. If I let you down, I make up for it double fold, tenfold. I just make sure that the reputation that precedes me is a good one, it's a positive one. And so I just pray for more of that, because I'm the type of person who has grown up in all types of different environments, and I understand that in order to take a life, in order to take my life and change it, which is what God did, in order for that to happen, I had to have the gift of, the parents that I had who heroically went from literally dirt, nothing, and took the opportunities that they were given. And we went from the village life to the township life to the city life, suburbs. And my little brother is growing up in suburbia right now. He has a PlayStation, this and that. His big bro's freaking jacked and tan and awesome. But the journeys to get here were not as glamorous as here may seem on the outside. And so I say that to say it took two people operating at very high levels in order to reach uh, certain levels of success. Obviously, depending on the demographic, some people see it as not, like, oh, you're just scraping. Some people see it as, wow, you've exceeded all expectation. But knowing where they come from, where they're at now, it's ridiculous. And it took two of them to make this happen. And so there's one of me. And the question that I had, which has brought me to this prayer, is how big would I have to dream in order to change the lives of as many people as possible, and in order to change the lives of as many people as I intend to? How big would I have to dream? How hard will I have to work? How consistent will I have to be? Um, Compounding is the eighth wonder of the world, according to Warren Buffett. And I think that's very true. And you can't compound unless you're consistent. You can't be consistent unless you show up every day and do the thing. Patrick Bet David talks about urgency. Those are my two major idols: Alex Ramosi, Patrick Bet David. Patrick Bet David talks about urgency. It's like, okay, yeah, the differentiator between those who actually get it done and those who don't is, oh, you say you want this thing, but what did you do about it today? Within this 24 hours, how much of your 24 hours have you contributed to the so-called dream that you say you have? And that's going to be the differentiator at the end of the day, is how much and how often. And some days are going to be better than others. Some days you're not available. Some days you're not able to, this, that, the third. But at the end of the day, how much of it are you giving overall? How much of a year have you given to it? How many years have you given to it? That's what separates those of them from the rest. That's what separates those of us from the rest. And I really want to change a lot of lives, man. It's not just about me and having that, Camps Bay Villa, that Ferrari 296 GTS. It's how can I get those things comfortably without putting tremendous amounts of pressure on my business and the other people and other families that'll be dependent on me, as well as creating the massive personal brand, creating the massive influence to someone should read my Twitter. The top pinned tweet is, my journey is realizing through all this that there must be a better way to get there. It is possible for one man to get there and beyond, because I've seen it. And the question then becomes, how do they do it? And my journey is to get there and then share that way to the top. That's what I'm on. That's what I pray for. Don't want to keep you for too long. If you did in fact enjoy the video, please do hit that subscribe button. Thank you for watching. I've been Sage, standing on business. Signing out.